Boom. Hopefully that works too.
Blam, blam, bliggity, blam. Okay, yeah, people are.
It's working. I see people in there. Elliot is so close to my face. Hello everyone. This is new. Also, Lawrence
Hi,
is new. Hi,
I'm
Lawrence.
new. Hello. Thank you for inviting me on your wonderful show.
Oh man,
New
murder or
Lawrence.
someone was saying Tribe Called Conquest is Lawrence going to call in via Skype or just be a face on a monitor again? That would have been a lot easier if you were just the monitor face.
Could have
Why
just
was I
been
working
pictures.
so hard?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, can we start over? Lawrence, can you Skype into a laptop in your office and place that laptop on the chair that you're sitting on and point your webcam at the laptop? Then
That's
that'd be the most efficient way to do this.
Yeah.
You're right. That would be the most efficient.
And then so apologies in advance if you're watching this. We've never done this before. I'm doing this from my home computer and utilizing programs I've never used before. So apologies if audio is laggy, if anything is laggy, or anything else.
The reason is that our the room we usually film in is under construction right now.
Yeah.
They're building like a set for God knows what in there. There's no
Yeah.
way we can shoot in there.
It says, oh, it looks like Elliot's audio is out of sync, but not Lawrence. So the problem is on Elliot's end.
Professional.
Yeah.
Yep.
Before we get into it, though, we do have a sponsored message to read. So I'm going to put, look, I have the disclosure up on the screen. I'm a pro
Nice.
at running my own production.
You gotta disclose.
Guys, this week we're sponsored by ACER. Take on your day with the ACER Swift 5. From its ultra-thin, lightweight design to its high-res touchscreen, the ACER Swift 5 offers cutting-edge computing. Go to acer.com, click on Store, and enter coupon code MOSHINIMAS, all caps, at checkout to receive 10% off plus free ground shipping on a Swift Series laptop, including already discounted models. This offer is valid through April 30th, 2018 and limited to one per qualified order. Windows, hello! The password is you, Windows 10. So go to acer.com, click on Store, enter that coupon code, and get yourself a discount on a new laptop. So enjoy that. But Lawrence and Elliot, I know I saw it. I want to know if you saw it. Did you see A Quiet Place this weekend?
I did. Yes. Hold on. I was going to make fun of you real quick.
Oh, okay.
There we go. Nope. Wrong one. There we go. That's you.
Ah!
Hey, it's flipped. Shit. Well, whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it came out clear for me.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I'm a sellout.
Yes,
Lawrence,
I saw the movie. It was good.
okay, good. Tell me what you liked about it.
Well, it's one of those unique horror movies can succeed on a number of metrics. Like they can have an interesting mechanic or like a unique monster. They can mix an interesting human tale in with those elements that sort of bring those human stories. They dial them up a little bit, let you talk about certain things in a different context that sort of lets you isolate stuff. It's kind of like science fiction in that regard. Anyway, it kind of had all those things. It was really well shot. It was really well acted. The sort of monster mechanic in it was unique. I thought the monster design was unique, kind of similar to Clickers from Last of Us, I guess. But I thought they did a great job of.
Similar.
What's up?
Definitely similar to the Clickers, yeah.
Yeah, but I thought they did a really good job of sort of filling in the background and the periphery of a lot of things with lived-in details, and the fact that this is a world where this sort of thing has been happening for over a year. And I thought they did a good job of sort of filling in all that without having characters talk to each other. And then the soundscape of it obviously is the biggest thing. I thought it did a really good job of. It didn't like a movie that central premise is silence. It seems like jump scares would be the obvious go-to, and I was relieved that it didn't. It wasn't purely that. There was a lot of other very tense scenes, a lot of very cool scenes that revolved around audio, but it wasn't purely just to be totally pitch black and then shock you with a huge hit of sound. So I thought it avoided very easy and low-hanging fruit, and also was very creative and original.
What did you think, Elliot?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. It's I think the biggest reason it succeeded was that it was not just really well shot and really well paced and really well written as a horror film. Like you actually you care about these characters. You are concerned for the safety. You don't want them to get hurt. And I mean, that's the big thing a lot of mediocre horror movies don't really succeed at. They did a really good job showing how this family has managed to survive for this long, and it's by trusting each other and putting in a lot of work. and really caring about each other, but also like, giving the kids responsibilities and stuff and trying to teach them how to survive on their own if the worst things happen. Also, I mean, really, it's just a clever idea. The whole idea of the slightest sound can mean your death, and oh, by the way, we're gonna have a fucking baby. Like, it's just a recipe for some serious cinematic conflict. And they killed it. And I was reading some thread on Reddit yesterday about how they even so the daughter is actually deaf in real life, and there was people, deaf people or hearing impaired people or whatever, people fluent in American Sign Language, who were saying that even their accent of sign language they were using in the movie was like realistic. Most movies, apparently, they're really like rigid with the hand movements, and they managed to learn how to do it like in a really natural way. So yeah, I just thought it was really cool overall.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, I saw it in a packed theater, which was, I think, the best way to obviously see it. It's when you see it like that, that's why I'm saying like people should see this now instead of waiting to see it at home or something like that, is because every time you take a bite of popcorn or want to sip your drink or do anything that, typically with movies like this, ones that are actually scary or have you on the edge of your seat, your natural reaction is to do something to not to like break the stress. So usually, like in a loud, crazy horror movie, you're grabbing your drink, you're like nervously eating popcorn or, doing something like fiddling around. And in this movie, if you do anything, you're going to ruin the experience for everyone around you. And what I found was that the experience, like, because there were people that were doing that or saying things or like whispering things, and you could tell they were nervously doing it. And it didn't like ruin it for me. I actually thought it was quite funny to like have people, their like person they were with, go, "Shh, everyone can hear you," like stuff like that. And it was funny too because there was so much happening in this film, and I thought it was actually really short. When it ended, I was like, "Oh my god, it's over!" I thought it was way shorter than I thought it would be. And anytime someone would get up to go use the bathroom, which when during a horror movie, I always assume is because they're too scared and they need a break. You cannot leave during this movie because you will miss a pivotal point no matter what point in the movie you're watching.
Just bring a catheter.
Yeah, just cath.
Yeah,
That's
just cath.
Lawrence,
the entire movie I was just like this, just locked up.
Did you see it with any friends or anything, Lawrence?
I saw it with my girlfriend. I saw it with Stephanie.
What'd she think?
She liked it a lot. Pretty much similar conclusions. One of the things that I find interesting, and this may be biting off a little more than you guys are willing to chew, but to me, it's like, so Get Out was the last big success or last big indie horror explosion, deservedly winning awards. Fantastic film. But one thing that I find interesting is Get Out obviously has context. It uses horror as a delivery vehicle to talk about human experience. And by putting a different frame around it, maybe you can get the message out to more people who wouldn't listen to that message otherwise. I was waiting / hoping for A Quiet Place to have something similar. Because if you want to paint in very broad strokes, which is what I'm about to do, like A Quiet Place is sort of the like Second Amendment, like white family version of this horror, and that it is about raising your kids, protecting them, like pretty rigid gender roles in this movie, that kind of thing. So if you wanted to, not that I am, but you could even put that as like, this is an like traditional American cultural movie, whereas Get Out was maybe a little more progressive in like 2018. And I was wondering if at any point A Quiet Place would dedicate to that, or at least have the horror trope mean something in context. But I didn't really get a whole lot of that. It seemed like it was just a cool story with a monster that helped elevate a human tale. But I think that's what
definitely if you can read into, you can definitely read into that. I'd say at the very least, it definitely promotes the family unit as a strong survival asset.
Yeah, I figured when I left there, I mean, obviously they're not the same movie at all, because one delves into topics that are far beyond like what would be considered normal in A Quiet Place, but very reminiscent of Don't Breathe. It's
Yeah.
basically Don't Breathe for ear holes instead of eyeballs, because the monster in Don't Breathe is blind and has very good hearing and is also trained in military style combat. But this monster has superhuman hearing. The only
Same actor too.
Yeah, oddly enough, without giving away any spoilers, actually, I shouldn't even say it because I don't want to spoil like anything that would be considered considered a spoiler. But I was surprised at the end of the movie when it said directed by John Krasinski. I didn't know he directed
Oh,
it.
you
I thought
didn't
he
know
was
that?
just in it. No,
And it's his third movie apparently.
Really?
His other ones, yeah. I haven't seen any of his other ones. They are apparently, bleh. So yeah, I don't know. He stepped up his game this time.
yeah, and so the other news here is this is pretty crazy. Let me cue this up here really quick.
Are we changing topics?
No, we're still on
Oh.
A Quiet Place.
Okay.
We're still on A Quiet Place, but here we go. All right, Elliot, you're on screen. I want you to talk about this.
Okay.
Weekend box office. A Quiet Place crushes Ready Player One and Blockers with a $50 million opening.
I love this, and it's another Get Out thing. Yeah, this movie cost, I believe, $17 million to make, and it's already turned a what would be considered a successful profit after one weekend. And yeah, I mean, like, people just like horror movies. People see horror movies regardless of whether they're good or bad. I mean, it's sort of like the whole reason Blumhouse is just printing money is because they release like 50 horror movies a year, and they're all made for like $2 million. And, one of those is probably going to be decent. So, I mean, it's not really surprising. People like to be scared. When it also is a scary movie that's also legitimately good, that's a bonus. But, I mean, yeah, just the way it was marketed, too. It's like, yeah, I think most people who are going to be looking at something to watch this weekend are either going to be like, okay, the one with like fucking the Iron Giant and a bunch of video game anime shit, or the one where Jim runs from a monster and shushes his children.
Yeah,
There's some excellent shushing, by the way.
yeah, there's
Yeah.
great shushing.
A lot
The
of great
moral of
face
this
acting.
movie is America needs to just shut the fuck up.
Yeah, it is quite nice living in silence for a little bit during this movie.
Yeah, I got home and I was like, oh, I now I know why there's no dogs in the world of this movie.
Yeah, because they're all dead.
immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lawrence, did you see Ready Player One?
Not yet, no.
You haven't seen it, and neither has Elliot, I'm sure.
So
Nah.
it's weird, man. The internet seemed to agree that we were not going to give a shit about this movie, and then everyone went and saw it.
Yeah.
So I was still on the I don't really care tick. Like, that wasn't a lie. I actually don't really care.
Mhm.
I'll see it eventually, but I'm like, I might see it on a plane. I might wait until it's Google Play and I rent it for $3.
I think seeing it
Whatever,
on a
man.
plane would not be great for the Ready Player One. It would probably do.
I don't care. That's the
I
thing.
know, but if you're gonna see it, you should see it on a big screen, for Christ's sake.
That's assuming that I care, and I don't. So
No.
I don't think that movie has anything to teach me about life and love. So
Wait,
Whatever,
is
man.
that the only way you'll go see a movie? What did Quiet Place teach you about life and love?
well, it taught me. It gave me something to think about. In that, and again, this is just me implying a lot of meaning onto it, and it kind of gets into. I don't want to get too much into spoiler territory, but if the movie is about, I mean, even the title, A Quiet Place, like, you want a quiet place to raise your children. If raising children and protecting them is the theme of the movie, you can read into it a little bit that the monsters represent the outside world, and you have to prepare your kids to survive in that. And then, crucially, the movie has like a device that basically represents a father's love that then protects the children literally as the movie goes on. So there's something to think about there. There's an interesting idea, and I could be implying too much meaning onto it, but Ready Player One, it's a hero's tale. It's popcorn. Maybe it'll make me think about how fandom causes me to self-identify or whatever, but I feel like I've already grown out of that phase. I think that's a pretty common thing people do when they're in their late teens or early 20s. I lived through it. I think when I was living in it, I thought a lot about it, and I'm pretty sure I understand myself. So it'll be fun, and all the reviews say it's fun. I don't dislike fun, but I'm not.
That's what I'm saying.
chomping
Like,
at the bit.
in the scheme of movies and reasons you go see them, there's certainly something to be said about getting lost in a fantasy movie that doesn't mean anything to your actual real life.
Yeah, for sure. But I also have video games, and those are cool too. So
video games are
But
too
this
real,
is a movie
Lawrence.
about video games.
Yeah.
Far Cry 5 is out, and that's really fun. I'd probably rather play Far Cry 5 than watch Ready Player One, because at least
Yeah.
I get to play it. I'm not just sitting there.
So the stats are Ready Player One fell 40% to 25.1 million. It's 11-day domestic total of 96.9, so it hasn't even cracked the 100 million mark.
How much did it cost to make?
I could only assume over 300 million if you included marketing, but
Yikes.
yeah. Globally, it's made almost 400 million, so that's good. It had a massive opening in China, 161 million. Blockers, the R-rated raunchy comedy for a new generation. It made 20.
It's good, right?
I heard it's good too.
I want to see it. John Cena is amazing. His
I love Cena.
comedic sensibilities are perfect.
Yeah, it opened to 21.4 million this weekend. So that's the thing, is there's actually been some good comedies coming out recently, and I think me and Elliot talk about this frequently, but we saw The House on a plane, and everyone said it wasn't that great, and we really liked it. And I think it's from like the past decade, and I think it's maybe just us going through that transitional phase of what you think is funny as a high school and college kid versus entering the real world, and then I think you get to a point where you can. This sounds like really deep and stupid, but you can laugh again at stupid shit. And I feel like for the past, like, I don't know, 7 to 10 years or something like that, comedies have failed me almost every single time. Obviously, there's standouts, but like, I feel like the last time I fucking was crying laughing in a movie, and these are very dumb movies, was the last Jackass movie that was made, and what's his name? Not Bruno, but the other one.
Oh,
Borat.
so wait,
Yeah.
other guys didn't get you?
It was okay. I liked it, but I mean, like I said, there's standouts, but like anything that was even a big comedy movie, like I'd have to go back and look through it. But
MacGruber?
I mean, hey, I loved MacGruber, but that wasn't a big comedy movie. That was
Talladega Nights?
That technically failed. Talladega Nights, believe it or not, Elliot, is fucking 11 years old.
What?
Yeah.
Oh shit!
God damn it. Oh, shit.
Well, I'm the weirdo who actually liked Ghostbusters, so
I liked Ghostbusters. I didn't think it was like the funniest comedy. Actually,
I-
Talladega Nights is 12 years old.
Jesus, I feel like, God, we're all dying.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying the last 10 years of our lives have completely disappeared.
Yeah, that's weird.
it's been
Yeah.
a dark generation, a dark decade for comedy, anyway. I would say.
Yeah. Anyways, let's all watch the Han Solo trailer,
Yeah.
because
there's a new one?
yeah, it just came out. Let me see here. Let me just copy this thing, and so everyone on the chat can actually see it. Since we're using this hot new technology, might as well
Yeah.
let the chat see
I have
it.
to click on it myself.
I'm gonna put
Tech.
I'm gonna put Elliot in the screen for this
Oh, I'm
one.
in the React cam.
You're gonna be in the reaction cam. Let me just see here.
Better play it up, Elliot.
Yeah.
I want nothing but an O mouth the whole time.
Solo.
Yeah, there it is. Now we're getting the views.
Is that more
Rolling up.
All right, here we go.
Is that the Sarlacc?
Boom. Elliot, you're watching the trailer.
No, I'm not. Where is the trailer?
It's on the internet.
Hold on.
You'll find it.
I need to Google it. Shit, hold on. Oh my god, is that
Why aren't you
Han Solo?
watching the stream?
Oh, I
You're
am.
after
It's
something.
not live. Oh, there we go. Okay, hold on.
Is it revenge?
Oh yeah, look at that.
Money?
I am, but now I'm hearing my own voice repeated back
Or
to
is it
me. This
something
is
else?
really not.
Yeah,
the
just
best.
shut up and react with your eyes.
You look good. A little rough around the edges, but good.
Also, I'm reacting to
What about
things
a
like
job?
10 seconds
Big
later.
shot gangster putting together crew.
I'm a driver, and I'm a flyer. I waited a long time for a shot like this. What do you think? Well, what do you know?
You got a line on a ship?
Yeah, I know a guy. He's the best smuggler around.
I heard a story about you. I was wondering if it's true.
Everything you've heard about me is true.
You're doing a great job, Elliot.
L3!
Let go of the mean man's face.
Who are these guys?
If you come with us, you're in this life for good.
You might wanna buckle up, baby.
All right, Lawrence, now you react with your eyes.
Here they come!
Let me give you some advice. Assume everyone
can't see or hear
will
it.
betray you, and you will never be disappointed.
I got a really good feeling about this.
Since when do you know how to fly?
190 years old? You look
Still going?
great.
Oh, that's great. You did great.
Is that a starship? Oh! This thing we saw before, we see it again! Ow! Is that the gun? You gave him the gun. That's the gun. Battlefront. Laser knife.
Still playing?
Yeah, it's still going, huh? Droid just fist pumped in solidarity. It's good.
There we go. We watched it.
Going on.
I don't know. I don't think you guys could really ever, get the full grasp of that without watching it first. But
Yeah.
I mean,
it made it look better than it previously did.
Yeah, it looked like a fun adventure movie, which is what I guess it should be.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm concerned
You're concerned?
because there's been a lot of weird. As time goes by, people remember Han Solo's character in an odd way.
yeah, he's not a good person.
No, he's a
For the
coward.
most part.
He's a coward, an asshole. He lies. He's selfish. And A New
Kind of a
Hope was supposed to be
misogynist.
him not being those things, learning how to be something else. So he should be an ultimate dickwad when he's younger.
Yeah, you're
I'm
right.
worried they're
That's
going to make him a
point.
hero.
'Cause he starts A New Hope as like literally a murderer. He murders Greedo.
Yeah,
He's,
and he's running out on a debt. He's
Yeah.
running away from everything. He's not a hero. He like barely almost becomes a hero by the end of Jedi, which is a cool arc, a really cool arc for his character, but he didn't enter A New Hope as a good person.
Yeah.
So the trailers try to make him out to be a dashing, like roguish hero. Whereas he was just kind of like a whiny little asshole. At least that's how I interpreted it.
Yeah.
But people remember his character differently. Like, oh, he was so cool. No, he wasn't. Actually.
What are your opinions on when they switched out the directors?
I imagine that LucasArts has pretty exacting standards for the kind of movies they want to make. And I mean, that's one of those things you'll never know the story, and you're not meant to, which I'm kind of okay with. But I do wonder how much of it is people who want to do certain things with Star Wars or take certain risks and they're not allowed to, which is extremely weird because Last Jedi was very experimental.
Yeah.
So whenever they're willing to undergo the cost of swapping a director and they're willing to endure the PR cycle of like speculative headlines and all that stuff, especially when there's a lot of money tied into it, there had to be a pretty important reason. I wonder what it was. I feel like
I mean, he was probably just trying to make it more funny, or they were trying to make it funnier, I guess. And I feel like we've talked about this before, but Star Wars, for whatever reason, desperately wants to be taken seriously.
Yeah, which is weird.
Yeah, it's
Very
very
weird.
strange.
Given that the original movie was pretty like campy, silly, lighthearted, like very basic dialogue, cute creatures, and certainly under George Lucas's purview, he's only made it like cutesier. It's weird. In the special editions and stuff, almost all of his editions involve some sort of Abbott and Costello routine where one alien like bonks another one on the head.
Yeah.
And that's the direction that he wanted Star Wars to go, clearly, from his editions.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where it started. It was always very goofy 50s, like pulp comic book stuff.
Who can
And then,
forget
yeah.
the lounge singer?
Yeah, exactly. Taking those hits.
Well, that's what I was saying. That's what I liked about Last Jedi was the first like 30 minutes of The Last Jedi are fucking hilarious. Like he's just pulling pranks on this evil overlord.
Oh, yeah, the fake call thing.
Yeah, like it was. I liked the movie. It was fun, and that's what I'm worried about. Solo is that they ripped all the heart out of it in order to just be like, no, we need to tell the real story of Han Solo, the one that everyone expects, the mean, rugged one where he's an asshole. And it's like, no, I don't want to see that. Boo.
There's such an opportunity to have Han Solo just be a general fuck up. And then, like, by meeting Chewbacca and by meeting Lando, like, he meets people of some character.
Yeah.
And through association, he learns how to be less of a dickbag.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that's kind of it. And it can still be this madcap madcap like buddy comedy movie.
Yeah, Chewbacca's like his dog, and like when you give a dog to someone, it opens up their heart to know how to love.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why Donald Trump doesn't
Troublesome
have a dog.
comparison, but yes.
Really quick,
Real
super
racist.
chats. Quiet, 10 pounds. Daddy Law on the show. Heart eyes, kiss face, and big heart. Cool.
Thank you.
Daddy
Yeah,
Law.
getting into dad territory these days.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Baby Lawrence on the way.
We'll see.
Oh,
If I make a
nice.
mistake, and I'll call him my beautiful mistake.
Yeah. Ed Boy 399 Elliot Spoon shirts pushed me to see them live. He didn't give a review, but there you go, Elliot.
Was it? I hope you liked it.
And it was terrible. I don't know why I listen to that Elliot guy.
I demand a refund from you personally.
Yeah. Caesar Velasco 24.99. Hey guys, love all your videos. Please keep it up. We're trying. We are trying, Caesar Velasco. $5 from Scott Lind. Keeping my spending to a minimum for now. Appreciate all you do. Thank you very much, Scott Lind. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So Lawrence, the biggest topic of the day
Oh.
goes to you.
Oh.
Ooh.
Did you happen
What
to
did I do?
watch Logan Paul on Twitch?
Oh no, I didn't. Fuck that.
You didn't?
No, I believe firmly in not rewarding people who act up with attention. That's how I choose to do it. People can do whatever they want with their time. If somebody makes a train wreck out of their own life, it's fun to watch. I get it. But I wasn't super hot on like back when people were developing like severe alcoholism and substance abuse on Jersey Shore. I was like, we can't, as a human race, I'd like to believe that individually we won't reward this with attention and advertiser clout. So, when they're up to their old fucking tricks again, I'm not going to spend time out of my life to see someone else make a fool of themselves as hard as they can. So whatever. I'm sure a lot of people watched it. I'm sure it was very successful. I'm sure they'll find a way to one up themselves to be assholey again or sociopath.
More Daddy Lawrence coming through.
Yeah, this is me, I guess, yelling at clouds. I suppose in some degree I should remain abreast of situations like this or topics like this, but
Yeah. So here was the what went down was basically what everyone expected. He had a big initial flood of viewers. He was terrible at the game.
really?
Unapologetically bad at the game.
He got killed by a pickaxe.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Didn't really know how to stream. Immediately was getting stream sniped. Did not put his chat in any kind of moderated mode.
Oh,
so
no.
giant ASCII penises were flooding all over it.
Good.
Lots of racial terms. Lots of just bad behavior in the chat.
Yep.
He then broke a bunch of plates. The thing that I found
In real
that
life,
was-
he just got up and started smashing plates.
Yeah, he used a slingshot like Bart Simpson to break plates.
That's entertainment, I guess.
And then, so the thing that was odd to me from a what you would consider not truly competitive standpoint, but trying to be competitive in the game, is everyone that he played with, the man bought a $7,000 PC to play.
A mobile game.
A free-to-play game, yeah.
A game that could run on a potato.
It runs on phones, literally runs on phones. But
Speaking of running on anything,
yeah,
his entire team, despite the fact that he was on PC, his entire team was on PlayStations. So they were playing on PC servers on PlayStations, which made absolutely no sense, especially based on his talent. Because even if the people that he played with were great on PS4, you literally can't take that and put it onto PC. It's almost
Was
impossible.
Logan himself using a controller or a keyboard and mouse?
You know, Elliot, I'm not sure. He didn't show his hands. The only time I ever saw his hands was when he was doing the slingshot to break the plates. He's currently not partnered. You could not subscribe to his channel.
Oh.
You couldn't bid him, but he did receive donations. Donations from names like I Swallow Cum, which he repeated on.
You had to say it out loud.
And then someone had a name that
Amanda
was.
Hugging
Someone did have
Mike
the name
Roch?
that was almost.
Maybe saying he was keyboard and mouse. Thanks, shit.
Oh, he was keyboard and mouse.
He was keyboard and mouse. All right.
Yeah. Am I on that Twitch chat? See, I can do it better than Logan Paul.
Oops. Let me just fix this. There we go.
No,
All right,
it's,
I had to
at
move
some
Elliot
point in
over.
life, you have to consider
go.
the people that are gravitating towards you and surrounding you.
Yeah.
And if they're shitty, maybe that implies something about your quality of character and the kind of people you attract.
Yeah.
So it doesn't surprise me that his Twitch chat was just hot garbage.
Within about 30 minutes or so, he did have a huge surge at the beginning. Ninja was also streaming at the same time. People in Ninja's chat were obviously saying that Logan Paul was streaming. Ninja refused to acknowledge any of that because he seems like a decent person. And then slowly but surely, the Paul experience dwindled down and Ninja was back on top, despite not having what you would consider the rabid fan base that the Paul brothers.
That's what happens when you can't ripple delete all dead air, which is all of his videos. So yeah, you have to actually be a consistent entertainer and you have to relate to people like in a normal way. And I guess if your emotions are broken inside, you can't do that.
Yes, broken inside is the good term.
So Ricky, when we first started
my attacks on somebody I've never met, I shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah.
When we first started talking about this, Ricky, when he bought his computer a month ago, we were arguing, we were debating how long it would take him to say the N-word with a hard R live on stream.
He hasn't said it with the hard R yet.
Now I feel like the real bet should be on how long before he gets bored of this. And,
no, that's what I was saying. I was saying a month. The only problem is...
It feels like even less. Like, it didn't seem like he really enjoyed it.
No, he was very frustrated when he would die. And obviously was not having fun with the game. But he was having fun with getting probably $50 to $100 worth of donations every couple minutes. So that's the thing is, like, he's essentially just going to put his face on cam and put a cup out and ask for money and do that until people stop donating.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be the time when he stops doing it. But that's the thing is, I think this is just the beginning for him because he definitely made a ton of money yesterday. And I think that he's going to be one of those people that goes out and gets that streamer backpack and just starts streaming IRL everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that. Yeah, IRL streams, that could definitely...
Elliot, by the way, you know who I saw this weekend on the internet? Sam Pepper.
Yeah, he's teaming up with Ice Poseidon.
Poseidon. Yeah, they bought a party bus with a stripper on it.
Oh no!
Of course, I'm of the Lawrence Sontag opinion on Ice Poseidon, or I'm just like, I don't even want to I don't want to give him free rent in my brain.
Yeah,
like I just don't understand how any of that shit is appealing to people. Sam Pepper, I haven't thought about in like 2 years. So it sounds like he's getting real desperate to jump on the new wave.
Yeah. So,
so Jake Paul played duos with like Summit 1G or something.
Oh,
like
that was another thing. Yeah,
he got a bunch of flack over that.
His subscribers were very upset. Yeah, he was like banning subscribers apparently, but also like, hey, like I thought my subs were cooler than this, and like the subs were all like, no, we thought you were cooler than this. So yeah, that was also very weird. Like that's a bold step to take in assuming that your fan base would be okay with you jumping on to a stream with the Pauls. Lawrence, what if the Paul brothers gave you a call and they were like, Lawrence, here's the deal. We want you to carry us in Tokidoki Literature Club or whatever you play.
Sure.
And for that, we will give you lots of free promotion, maybe a Maverick merch T-shirt.
Sweet.
What would your response be?
I mean, it's easy to be sanctimonious in a vacuum and say I would decline, but I would try and throw some terms on it. I don't know. I think first of all, there's no way in fuck. They're on a tier well beyond anything I'll ever reach in my life. But presuming that we roll with the question as being real, I would also try to wedge, like I would say like yes, but I'd also like to interview you and ask you like very pointed questions about the things you've done.
Yeah.
And why you think that sort of behavior is okay.
Yeah.
And like try and press you on the sort of example you think you're setting, and do you think you're benefiting the world with the media you're putting out into it? Like I would try to pair it with something that I think or satisfies my personal moral obligations, but that probably wouldn't happen. So if it was just a question of, hey, do you want the payday and the publicity? I don't need it. I live well enough.
You're doing fine.
I rent a nice place. I can afford pizza whenever I want it.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
You would be so proud.
Exactly. I can buy basically every video game I want. I'm a man of meager desires. I got a good video card, and I got a pretty decked out Steam library, so I'm set. I don't need them for anything, and I don't really feel like compromising the things that I believe about the media, and especially about being cognizant of the fact that young kids are watching this stuff too. I think it borders on like dereliction of responsibility to do some of that stuff, but that's just my belief.
Yeah.
We also live in a society that lets everybody do what they want, and well, most of what you want. So I believe in that society as well, so that they can do what they want. I'll do what I want.
Well, let's move on to the next topic, because speaking of doing whatever you want and gaming, Cliffy B is going all in on Battle Royale.
Yeah, I couldn't throw those chips down fast enough.
Yeah, so he had just come out with Lawbreakers less than a year ago.
It's been like a year. How many people? Where do you check how many people are playing a certain game?
Well, they can't anymore. They just I don't know if they took it.
It's
they
gone.
They
delisted it.
did?
Yeah.
It was under 10. I saw that. I saw the fucking saw the image pop up on 4chan pretty regularly of like 12 people playing Lawbreakers. It is a bummer. It wasn't a bad game.
No, it wasn't a bad game. It really wasn't a bad game.
Just the world didn't care.
Derivative.
Well, yeah, it was
zero G fights. That was kind of cool.
It was a different take on the what's the term called? It was like a hero fighter, like a hero shooter, hero-based shooter.
Yeah.
And it was interesting enough. It just never ever caught on, and that's probably because they charged money for it. If they had made it free to play and maybe done some skins or something like that, it probably would have caught on a little bit better. Shibby is saying that the 24-hour peak for Lawbreakers is 13 people.
Woo!
So regarding this,
13 though, those dudes have got to be like band of brothers.
Well, they're the top players in the world, literally.
Yeah, you're right.
No matter if you play that game at all, you could be like, yeah, I'm top in this game called Lawbreakers. Like people that don't know games would be like, holy shit, this guy's a pro. You want a beer, man?
Yeah.
I'd be worried that the only people playing Lawbreakers are just using it as like a secure communication network for like planning terrorism.
Oh.
Because no one's watching.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, in that sense, the Cliffy B could monetize it for like the government.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's
secure
good.
communications.
Lawrence, did you read anything about Radical Heights yet, though?
I saw the trailer.
You did see the trailer. So, what do you think it's enough? If it's different enough in what it does, and that it's free to play, that it'll have an audience?
Not at the moment. No.
No?
I mean, so like it is free to play, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so just by virtue of being free to play, people will try it.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's kind of making the same mistake is a hard word, because I don't know that you can ever be wrong about this, but Lawbreakers went with a certain aesthetic that was just not right.
Yeah.
For the current time. It was like cyber dreadlock Rasta dude with laser skates. Like that stuff would have killed in 1998.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean that it's bad just because it's dated. It's just people aren't ready for it. I also think in the same way, this like hyper 80s thing, we're kind of on the way out of that.
Yeah.
So it seems like somebody was grabbing things off the shelf to try and cobble together this perfect product that would have been perfect 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
They were hyper like Blood Dragon 80s out, plus Battle Royale, plus free to play.
Yeah, it needs to be 90s now. 90s is the hot tick.
And that's kind of what Fortnite is. It's like hyper colorized. It's very like Nickelodeon cartoon. It's kind of hitting on the right aesthetic for right now, whereas this is hitting on an aesthetic that was in wraparound 4 to 5 years ago. So that's kind of weird. I don't know that that's going to make people infatuated with it. I feel like if you went with this like vaporwave VR, Ready Player One kind of thing, that might catch people a little bit more with aesthetic. But I don't mind it. I like the spirit of it. I like it being goofy and wild as opposed to something more serious like PUBG.
Yeah, what do you think about like do you have any opinions on like the money system? I didn't even understand what the full concept of that was.
It doesn't seem all that dissimilar from anything else, really. From what I could tell from the trailer, you get money by finding it in the world, and then you go buy a gun from a gun vending station. So theoretically, it's kind of exactly the same, except there's an extra step. You have to get money now. And theoretically, you can camp a gun vending station for people to come up to it and shoot them. Mm-hmm. But you could do that with the loot drops and stuff in other games anyway.
Yeah, they have the in Fortnite. They have the vending machines now. So.
Oh yeah, you're right. I forgot about that.
So you could camp them, I guess. But yeah, it's I don't know. I like the BMX stuff. The BMX thing looks cool where you can do flips.
That's cute. Do you get anything for doing flips though?
I don't know.
Do them.
Yeah, I don't know. Not really any reason to any reason to like do that, I guess. I don't know. It comes out tomorrow, so I guess we'll all see.
Yeah, it's wild, right?
Yeah,
Flip
check
is a
into
good
your
game
seats.
designer. He knows how to make good games that play well and have good game mechanics. So
Yeah.
I have faith with him leading that project or that studio. They wouldn't just shit out an up and down clone.
Yeah.
I might eat my words if that's what it ends up being, and if that's the case, Boss Key, like, it'd be a bummer for them to be in that situation already, where the best they can do is get out a free-to-play clone of an already successful free-to-play game.
Yeah.
But I know we'll see. Yeah, you said it's coming out tomorrow, so
Yeah.
I'll give it a shot.
Really quick, let's get into the sponsor for the middle of the show, and it's a sponsor that we know and love. And Lawrence, if you haven't tried it, you should try it. But me and Elliot love it, and that is Savage Jerky.
Oh, I got
Hell
some
yeah.
right here at my desk.
There you go. Boom.
Actually, ooh, let's see. What else have I got? Ooh, Mojo Jalapeno. This is a good one.
Yeah.
My.
Right there.
Support for today's show comes from Savage Jerky. Savage Jerky was created out of a frustration with the lack of quality meat snacks, particularly spicy varieties. It offers all-natural, handcrafted, and small-batch jerky that is made with ingredients that belong in a kitchen, not a lab. And with 13 varieties of beef and bacon jerky, flavors range from mild, like their trademark Mojo, which is a combo of garlic, lime, and cilantro, to wild, like their Carolina Reaper jerky, made with one of the hottest peppers on the planet, which me and Elliot have eaten. And it is intense. It's very intense. I did a game recently where I would eat the Carolina Reaper when I died, and I stopped doing that after the first couple of deaths.
Was it Dark Souls?
No, God, no. But anyways, we've tried it. We love it. We're very happy to have them as a sponsor again. And if you guys would like to try some Savage Jerky, you get 10% off your entire order, and you get a free Savage Jerky koozie for that glass of milk that you'll need to wash it all down with. You're going to use code ETC, that's all caps, ETC at savagejerky.com. That's offer code ETC at savage, S-A-V-A-G-E, jerky.com, and you'll receive 10% off your entire order. So get a bunch, the discount grows, and you'll get that free Savage Jerky koozie. So thank you very much, Savage Jerky, for that. There's also links in the description below. But let's get into some Q&A.
Questions and answers?
Questions and answers. Lawrence had a specific one. Does Lawrence still have the double TV setup in his home? I heard about it and it inspired me. A rundown of his epic living room set would be cool. ETC and Funhaus for life. Much love, RG Gomez. You had a double TV setup?
Yeah, for the lady and I. We both play games at the same time, so
That's great.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
It's an awesome setup. Although audio becomes tricky, because if we're both playing games at full blast, like there's a lot of bleed over. And if
Yeah.
we're playing a co-op game, what can typically happen is, like, if a cutscene starts, one console will be slightly behind the other, so you hear dialogue, but it's got this shitty echo going on.
Yeah.
So
Can't you
when
just plug in headphones to like your controller now?
I mean, you could, but then it's like you
could.
kind of lose out on the community of sitting on a couch together.
Yeah.
But it's nice to spend time together while playing video games.
Yeah.
One thing a lot of games let you do is you can just turn down the music or turn down certain audio effects. So
Mhm.
she'll leave hers up, and I'll turn down all the duplicate audio on mine, and then we'll like play Diablo or Overwatch together or something like that. Yeah,
I mean, I guess
the
it's
only
not that
problem
weird
is-
because, like, me and my fiance sit next to each other at the computers and we'll play games. But I guess it feels more normal because we have our own desks with monitors. And Elliot, his fiance is right behind him right now.
Yep. She's cropped out though.
Yeah, she's cropped. So yeah, it's just it just I guess it would feel only weird if like a normie walked into your living room and was like, "Hey, what the fuck is going on here? You trying to watch like a 3D movie, but you only got one set of glasses or something?"
I don't know. I think anyone who criticizes the 2 TV setup is actually just jealous. And I people like to say, "Oh, you're just jealous," anytime they get criticism for anything. But I think in this case, that's 100% what it would be. I actually had a friend who, when he was still living with his guy friends before he got married, they had 2 TVs in their living room, and it was so that they could watch like the NFL on one TV and then play Call of Duty at the same time on the other one. It's just ultimate picture-in-picture.
Yeah.
Picture and picture.
Yeah.
I'll do that a lot. Yeah, throw a Twitch stream up on one and play a game on the other. I do that at my desk. Like, I have 2 monitors, and one's typically just background media, and the other is something I'm actually doing via game or work or something like that.
It's like in Back to the Future when he's like, "Oh, he's just teasing you. Nobody has two TVs." And Lawrence steps into the actual movie and says, "Actually, I have two TVs right next to each other in the same room."
Everyone's already rolling their eyes. Yeah. It's the greatest version of that movie.
Yes. I don't know. Like, I don't know if I would be jealous of it. I would just be like, I mean, that's unique. It works because
awesome.
it would be more weird if you didn't have a significant other.
Yes, that would be a little self-indulgent, I think.
Yeah.
Even though there are times when she's gone and I use both TVs myself. So, whatever, man. I've another old man yelling at cloud thing is I've stopped giving a fuck about what people think about my living room.
Good.
Yeah, good. You shouldn't care. And then if you watch the same movie at the same time, you can just cross your eyes and it'll be in 3D.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like a magic eye photo.
Yeah. It's perfect. Jonathan Mercado, at jmin1775. Classic games like Earthworm Jim are loved by many, but seems to be forgotten by companies. What games would you guys like to see make a comeback?
I have the answer to this. Shit. What was it? Fuck, I can't remember the title. Was it Mercenaries? It's a PlayStation 2 series where you you kill Kim Jong-un's or Kim Jong-il's like grandson in the near future. You're like
It's like an open world action game.
yeah, it's like an open world game where you play a member of a team of mercenaries that gets dropped in North Korea like during a civil war, and you just like basically forge alliances and enemies between different countries and armies that are trying to like take over North Korea.
Yeah.
It was one of the first games where you could call in like airstrikes to blow up buildings. It was super fun. They made a sequel that was bad, and then the series sort of died.
And this came out in the 90s?
This came out in like 2003, 2004.
I mean, I guess. Lawrence, is there any kind of... I guess Earthworm Jim's a good example, but didn't they... They also not just came out, but they did relaunch Toe Jam and Earl through Adult Swim, which was an odd pick, I guess. Just something that's retro that came back. I think mine would have to be Yo Noid, where the Noid from Domino's goes around and fucks up pizzas. It's one of the hardest games ever released. So I'd love to see a modern remake of it in HD graphics, 60 frames, just looking beautiful.
You want me to blow your mind, Ricky?
Blow my mind.
That game was not a Noid game. It was just a Japanese platformer, and they just swapped out the main character with a Noid, and then that was it.
Yeah,
Wow.
and thereby created a Noid game.
I guess you're right. Yeah. So bring back like Magic Window Hattori Ninja-kun or whatever.
Yeah.
But keep Noid in it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Do you miss the days when you'd have to send off to Japan to get a game that you really wanted, Lawrence?
Oh, I was never able to do that. Are you kidding me? I didn't have money. Like, my parents didn't give me money for shit.
Yeah, now you got two TVs.
Yeah, now
You
I got
really
two.
showed them.
Let's show you. I can buy all the retro games. No, I don't. It's weird. It's this beloved by many thing. It's actually beloved by very, very, very few people, comparatively.
Mm-hmm.
So there are like quirky old video game properties that people have been playing games for a long time remember fondly, but
Yeah.
man, that does not even stack up against something like Fortnite.
Yeah.
And they did HD re-releases of Earthworm Jim, so it's not that game companies forget. It's just I think they rightly appraise that no one's gonna buy it now because
Yeah.
the brand equity doesn't matter anymore.
Well, Shaq Fu's coming out, so we'll see how that does.
Yeah, there's like a lot of people feel like classic games are underserved, but game companies still do try to make them. It's just no one buys them when they do. So like a lot of people, we need like classic JRPGs back. There's a ton of them. Just no one's playing.
Yeah.
That's the thing is with the Nintendo Switch specifically, they are releasing very slowly classics. They just came out with Punch Out.
Yeah.
Like I said, in its updated graphics, so it'll be interesting to see how well those do. But then on the other hand, you've had pretty much with every generation of console, Sega will bundle up a bunch of their classic games, or anyone else will bundle up a bunch of classic games, and it's like, I've bought them and I've played through them a little bit and been like, all right, I'm bored now. That's it.
Yep.
So I haven't played Crash Bandicoot. I'm waiting for it to come out for the Switch, which should be soon. But
yeah, I'm gonna have to buy it again.
Yeah.
Crash
In terms of IPs that I would love to see come back, I would love someone to make Grim Fandango 2, because I played that when it came out. It was so great. They did re-release it in HD a couple years back, and hopefully some new people got to try it. But that was just such a clever world.
mhm.
I would be shocked if the people who wrote Coco did not find some inspiration from that game, because it's a very similar concept. But it'd be great to see a modern, like, third-person Grim Fandango sequel.
Yeah. By the way, Lawrence, I think it was you that retweeted the deal that Spec Ops: The Line.
Oh yeah, the free game.
Yeah, I bought it, I downloaded it, and I beat it on Saturday. I started on Saturday and beat it, and it is one of the most fucked up stories I've ever experienced in a game. Well worth the price of $0.
Yeah. It's a really cool ride. It's one of those games where it uses its setting to talk about something, which I think is really cool.
Yeah,
I mean,
and it aged very well, because if you play it on PC and crank the graphics all the way up, it looks like a game that came out this year or last year. It looks great.
Cool.
Outside of, there's not as many buildings in the game as there are in Dubai, but your character looks great.
Yeah, I'm glad you played it. Yeah, that game has a fond place in my heart.
And finally, Lawrence, what anime are you watching right now? This is basically from two accounts, Trollbur Tofu and Ryan Kroon on Twitter.
My anime consumption at the moment is extremely basic. I'm still crunching through Dragon Ball Z Kai because I want to start watching Super. But I saw that there's a boxing anime out now that looked really cool. And I was always a huge fan of, there's another long-running boxing show called Ajime no Ippo that is super, super awesome. And it's shockingly like realistic in its adaptation of boxing into anime form. So I was curious to check out a new one, because boxing isn't something that comes up in Japanese media a lot because they're tiny. Sorry guys, hasn't been a Japanese like heavyweight champion for a very long time. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. There's a couple of other shows I want to get back to. This isn't quite anime, but at least recommended Over the Garden Wall. I need to watch that. And also I never Gravity Falls. I never finished that show, so I want to get through that too.
What's your favorite anime of all time? Is it Dragon Ball Z?
No,
like throughout history.
Good guess though. No, I love it when dudes shout and punch each other. Oh yeah, Devilman Crybaby is also pretty fucking out there.
Yeah.
My favorite anime of all time is I think it came out in the late '90s. It's called Planet S or Planet ES. I'm not sure how you pronounce it because they don't say it in the show, and I have no idea what it means.
Planet S.
Basically, yeah. The idea, it's like a near future thing where space colonization is just starting to ramp up, but orbital debris is a problem. It's kind of a problem now. The idea being that like when people build space stations and stuff, and a bolt or a piece of metal just sort of floats away, it's actually orbiting the planet at hundreds of thousands of meters a second. So if there's a shuttle that's flying and a bolt just shoots through it, it punches through it like a railgun. So they have to schedule flights around it. And if there is something headed towards a commuter vessel, they have to intercept that and either send it down to burn it or collect it to keep it from killing people. So the show follows a basically space janitor crew who has to go out and retrieve orbital debris that's about to collide with like an expensive thing or a commuter shuttle or something like that. And as a serial format, it works really well because there's a lot of high tension moments. It's like space, it's near future, so it's got that sci-fi element. And every like character on the show has their own little story about how they got there and why they're doing what they're doing. And then it eventually broadens out into this huge political discussion about if a particular spacefaring nation is able to reach a planet, do they then own that planet? And are they entitled to all the resources from that planet? Because it creates a runaway condition where the poorer nations on Earth will never, ever get to participate in the resources gained from space travel. So it gets into this thing of like corporations holding countries down, poor countries staying poor, rich getting richer type thing. Terrorism becomes a problem because poorer nations can't do anything but bomb landing pads and stuff like that to try and even the playing field.
Well, it sounds like you love this show.
It's a really smart show.
Yeah.
It has goofy episodes, but about halfway through, it kind of picks up its series plot, and from there, it's super cool. And there's even like a cool little believable romance tucked in there.
Ooh.
So yeah, I liked it a lot.
And as we've already learned, you love shows that reflect your actual life and the lessons that they can teach you. So it sounds like that show really has you on the ball as far as space exploration and romance.
I'm not gonna lie, it's got a lot of things that I personally like in it.
Yeah.
I don't know that I'd argue it for it being the best show of all time, but for me, it hit a lot of the things I enjoy.
So we are about to launch a show. We just have one episode filmed. We're going to film another one, I think, either this week or next, called Idiots Watching Anime, and it's where me and Elliot have never seen anime, so we watch it with experts. We've already done a couple episodes of Dragon Ball Z. It was just a podcast, but we're deciding to turn it into an actual show. So the first thing that we watched is Dragon Ball Z: The Dead Zone.
Oh yeah,
the first movie.
Huh.
So that'll be coming out pretty soon. We would love to have you bring in some. What is it called again?
Planet Test.
Sure, I think I've got it on DVD somewhere.
So if you send us those DVDs at some point or hand them to us in real life,
Way too valuable to mail.
the whole point is you'll give us basically 3 episodes that we have to watch from the entire series. Like a pivotal episode, maybe something that builds the characters, maybe a fun one if they have a fun episode of Planet S. You know, maybe the space dust it's all cleaned up so they have some time to play Parcheesi or something.
Okay.
And we'll watch the episodes, take notes, and bring you in and just destroy you with questions. Very ignorant questions about what we've just seen.
That's fair.
So we'd love to have you on for that.
Yeah.
Great. I think next up we're doing there was one that I can't remember the name of, but we are going to be doing One Punch Man, Devilman Crybaby. I really want to do Sailor Moon. Then Food Fight. We're going to try to get Food Wars.
Yeah. That's a good show.
Yeah. We'll have some good
It blows your clothes off.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
We're going to get some good special guests, and it should be a lot of fun. But Lawrence, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you guys for inviting me. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Is there anything that you want to, I don't know, this is what people do at the end of shows. Do you want to promote anything? What are you doing? What were you playing this weekend? I tuned in for a little bit.
Just a lot of stuff. Yeah, I guess I stream on my own. That's my handle that I decided on at 12 and will never change is SirLar, so SIRLARR, Twitch TV/Lar. And I just
always wanted to be a knight.
I finally got my stream PC working. This is like zeroth world problems. Something I've been working on for the past couple of weeks, but it's up and running now. So I was like just running through all these high spec PC games so I could stream them out at buttery smooth 1080p 60 FPS.
How are you liking trying to do it at 60 FPS? Because I struggle with that.
It's working now.
Okay.
I can understand the struggle.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was finally able to get my hardware all configured and set up and crammed into a box. So it's really solid now.
All right, good.
Got all those frames, all of them.
And so your Twitch is twitch.tv/SirLar.
That's correct.
Great. And everyone that's watching now already watches Funhaus, but
yeah, youtube.com/Funhaus, FUNHAUS.
What are you guys doing this week on Funhaus? By the way, my favorite thing that you've done recently is the despite it being a boring game, Sea of Thieves episodes.
Oh yeah,
those are great.
Sea of Thieves is a really good kind of just like visual chat room. It's good to just hang out with people.
Yeah,
it gives you something to do, but it doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
those kinds of things.
That's true. Nothing matters in the game.
Nothing matters ever.
That's what Metallica says.
They've never been wrong about anything, so we should listen to them.
Well, they said nothing else matters, so I don't know what the thing that matters is to them. But aside from that, nothing else matters.
Ethics in video games journalism.
Yes.
Nothing else matters.
Nothing else matters. That's the full title of the song.
It was in parentheses. They had to cut it off because it wouldn't fit on the liner notes.
Elliot, what are you playing right now?
I just finished last night playing Call of Juarez Gunslinger.
Why?
So there was that Ubisoft sale on Steam a couple weekends back, and they were selling that for like $3, and I was like, good Western game. Really it was all right. I had fun. There was there was a dueling mechanic in it that could have been really cool, but was mostly just frustrating. But I mean, for like $3 or $4, it was a nice 1.5 day game, and I don't know what I'm going to move on to next.
Well, we're playing Borderlands. We're continuing our Borderlands stream. Lawrence, we just started playing Borderlands 2. It's Elliot's first time, and I believe Shibby's first time.
Cool,
it's a fun game. So we're going to be doing that on Wednesday instead of Thursday because Shibby will be out of town on Thursday, so we'll do it on Thursday. And that's pretty much it. Lawrence, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks, Lawrence.
And Elliot, thanks for hooking up the nice microphone.
Yeah.
And thank you, everyone, for watching. Thanks for all the super chats. Don't forget to check out our sponsored messages in the description below. You can use those links. Using those links, using the sponsorship coupon codes, really help us out, help us get more sponsors for the show, keep the show on. And thank you, everyone, for watching. Thanks for super chats, everyone on Twitch and on YouTube. And again, thank you, Lawrence. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Goodbye.
Now I have to figure out how to stop it.